In this lesson, we're going to look at how we can solve a linear system by graphing. So just recall that when we talk about solving a linear system, it means we're finding the shared point or the point of intersection where those lines cross. So when we solve by graphing, we are first going to make sure our linear relations are in slope y-intercept form so we can graph them quickly and easily using the y-intercept and then the pattern or the slope. Once we have graphed all the linear relations and labeled them, now an easy way to label them is to just draw them in different colors and highlight using those colors here. And then we're going to find the point of intersection, label that point, and write a therefore statement. And in math, our short form for therefore is this triangle, this 3 dots where the point is at the top. Okay, so let's take a look at this linear system and look at how we can solve it by graphing. So our first linear relation is y equals negative 2x minus 2. So our slope, the number in front of x, is negative 2. A slope is a rise over a run, so I need a run still. Recall that anytime I have a whole number, the run is 1. Because a fraction line just means divide, so negative 2 divided by 1 is equal to negative 2. My y-intercept is the other number that is not with the x. So this negative 2 is the slope, and then this negative 2 over here is our y-intercept. And this is my starting point. This is one location on the graph. I'm going to go to the y-axis and find negative 2. And then I'm going to use my slope or my pattern to find the rest of my points. So negative 2 means I'm going to move down 2 and right 1 and continue that pattern. Once I get to the end of my grid, I'm going to move in the opposite direction, so that's up 2 and left 1. So from here, up 2, left 1, and continue that pattern. And then once I have all my points in, I can put in my line for the linear relation. So remember that there are an infinite number of points along this linear relation. We're simply plotting a few of the ones that are easy to plot because they're whole numbers. And then our next linear relation, 2y minus x equals 6. So this one we're going to need to rearrange and convert it to slope y-intercept form. So here is my equal sign. I have my left side in front of the equal sign and the right side after. In y equals mx plus b, or slope y-intercept form, I want only the y in front. So that 2y is going to stay. The x is going to move, and it's a subtraction of x on the left side, which means it's going to become an addition of x when it moves. So negative x plus x will get rid of it from the left side, and what I do to the left side, I have to do the right side as well. And then I also had a positive 6, so plus 6. Now in slope y-intercept, I need 1y, so that means I need to divide everything by this 2. So that leaves me with just y. I'm going to separate out my m and my x. I'm going to write my x separately, and I had an over 2. I didn't have a number at the top, which I didn't need when x was there, but I do need a number when I just have the number on its own. And the number that would have multiplied by x and not changed it is 1. So 1 times x is just x. So that's why there was no number there. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So my slope is 1/2, and my y-intercept is positive 3. So I'm going to go along my y-axis and find positive 3. There's my y-intercept. And now I'm going to use my pattern up 1 and right 2 to find the rest of my points. And then in the opposite direction is down 1 and left 2. And there I can see my shared point already. So that's over here. I'll continue on so that I have good points to draw my line. The further away points are, the easier it is to draw your line accurately. And when you're graphing, this matters. To get the correct point of intersection, you need your line to be going through exact points, so intersecting grid lines, anytime it would be at a whole number. So what we should see is that our two lines should cross exactly at a certain point. So in this case, the point that happens at, so that's our pink dot, is when x is -2 and when y is +2. So that is called the solution to this linear system. And so we're going to label the shared point. So we did that here by using a different color. And then we're going to write our therefore statement. So remember that this means therefore. So therefore, the solution is, and it's the coordinate, -2, 2. So that is how we solve a linear system by graphing. We make sure each linear relation is in slope y-intercept form, identify the slope and y-intercept so that we can graph them. Once we've graphed them, we'll take a look at our graph, find out what point the two lines intersect at, and then we will write a therefore statement with the coordinates of that point.